somebody wanted to join us today.
Oh, yay!
Since
Dharma!
nobody seems to mind.
No.
Yeah, everyone loves you.
How did you feel about this episode, Dharma?
Well, it was sort of a mess, honestly. I thought that the Snatch Game was pretty weirdly edited so that some people seemed to not even be present and other people were the whole show, which I'm not mad at. Bimini stole the whole thing. Bimini is a star. She's very smart and pretty much smarter than everyone on the panel. Yeah!
I was inspired by Iris Van Herpen's bacteria germ. To me, prehistoric in a sense because it's like the first cell.
I was like, is she a vagina?
Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches.
RuPaul's Drag Race, UK, Season 2, Episode 6. I think I got all the numbers right.
Woo! It's getting complicated.
You know what? It is getting, it's like, but I did remember at the beginning of this viewing party for some reason, remember Stake It, UK.
No.
Wait, really?
What was that?
From Will and Grace. I feel like we talked about this at the beginning of
Oh, kind of, yes.
Stake It, UK. It's brilliant, it's British, I'm back.
I thought you meant it was something that like we had said last season. I got confused. There's a lot of drag race. There's a lot of a drag race happening.
Yeah, a drag race. You sound like you're in Little Italy.
Little Italy.
Anyway, first things first, shout out to our wine sponsor, Wink. Go to trywink.com/moviebitches. You get $22 off your first month of wine. Second things second, shout out to our Patreon supporters. $5 a month more gets you early access. $10 gets you access to our viewing
She didn't like that. Oh, she didn't like that one bit. I'm sorry, Dharma. I'm sorry, Dharma.
She's like, you're already not paying me to be in the viewing parties, so I'm not going to
Where's my check? Where's my percentage?
Oh, that face. Third things third, make sure to subscribe, share, tell all your friends, watch Movie Bitches. They have a cute dog.
It is our best asset.
Right?
What can I say?
Click the like button, comment, tell us, how did you feel about Snatch Game? There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah. This episode, basically, there was Bimini, who was GOAT, greatest of all time, everything, all of the above. We've lost her. She says, you're not giving me my cut. I'm getting out of here. Okay. Okay. And here and there, but oh man, this episode on a whole was, For me, it's the judging.
Well, yes.
The judging has become very specific, very harsh, I feel, very pointed, and they talked for too long. I was like, when Ru cut off Michelle and was like, oh, I wish he did.
All right, silence.
Like, you know what? Good. I'm sick of hearing all of you talk, honestly. I see the irony. I see it. I'm present. I have some self-awareness. But I was just like, I don't want to hear your opinions anymore. I'm okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Did you see the meme that I'm trying to make happen that I posted on Twitter? Where
Perhaps not.
Some like DC gay was like, we don't have to hear your thoughts on Rush Limbaugh. Like, you could just say nothing. And so then I just posted the picture of Lorenz Cheney holding the mirror, the tiny little mirror, just like, so now I'm excited to just use that as a like pot meat kettle. Oh, but yes, the judging. The other interesting thing in the same topic is that these judges now, well, Michelle and Ru, they had just done 13 and All-Stars 6.
Like in a row, and then came back. I can tell they are not having it. And maybe in their eyes, 13 and All-Stars are on a higher level, quote unquote, fashion-wise, or just expensive money I'm spending-wise.
Right.
And therefore they feel like these queens are more pedestrian. I don't feel that way at all. I liked a lot of the looks they didn't like. I was confused. We'll get into it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In all honesty, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I think All-Stars is ruining this show. Having it every year is a mess.
A mess?
I think the format is a mess. And I think the problem is just that having it be on such a regular cadence, Ru is expecting these queens to have such a vast library
to be All-Stars already.
Exactly. Already. And it's like, they're not. These are regional queens. Tia Coffee performs in a pub. What are we talking about? She should not have to have a $3,000 gown.
Thank you.
Duh.
Also, I loved her pterodactyl look. Just to go off on
notes.
to go off on the gown, the pterodactylness of it all, you know. Silent letters. Pterodactyl starts with a silent P.
Pterodactyl. Right. Pterodactyl,
making
you're saying? I got you.
Making a joke
I
about
got you.
it. We'll talk about it. I didn't think it was as bad as they thought it was.
I have notes for everyone.
This runway brief was limiting.
Limiting, I think. I mean, some queens, one queen thought about it differently.
But they decided that they needed to also be confused and critique. We'll get into it. It's bacteria, Alan. It's bacteria.
You thought about it, you went, I'm going to be an amoeba.
Bacteria.
Yeah, I'm going to be a bacteria. Good for you, love.
So, the queens walk in. No, they're back. They're still back. Jo has not bothered to write another message because she doesn't care.
She's cashing that H&M check.
Yes. Love it.
Tia has won another lip sync, and there's much debate about whether she is a lip sync assassin. I think she is.
Does that mean that I'm a lip sync assassin? Is that official?
Wait till the third one.
We're just gonna have to like shift all of our standing to Bimini now. I'm not mad at it. I mean,
I've been feeling that way for a while.
oh, I was
and I'm
already,
glad that
I was
they're
already
catching
there,
up.
but now all my energy can be focused on Bimini, where before I was split a little bit. Yeah, and they're all sitting around, and Sister is a secret bunt, I'm gonna say.
I noticed steam heat rising from her head when she was talking to you.
Yes.
Like a covert bunt. I wish I could say the real word, but we'll get flagged. Coming all in on Tia. Oh, well, what about this? And And I did kind of love that Lawrence was like, so, to shift focus, sister, critiques about you.
You have also been told many times that you need to elevate certain things. Just very interested to see, do you have like a game plan or like a roadmap or...
Steps for moving forward?
Okay.
Anything on that?
And then everyone's de-dragging, and oh my god, Tia helping Lawrence.
It really smells.
Oh, bitch, this ice cream is not a delicious flavor.
This ice cream flavor is not delicious. So it's the next day, everyone comes in. I did love Tace's, she's joined the Rhythm Nation.
I am obsessed with Tace's progression of workroom, like
Fashion?
jumpsuity fashion.
Go be a backup dancer to Janet Jackson and then subsequently become the front up dancer. I don't know. Marry her and become her partner. Yes, all of it. I love it. All of it.
Yeah. So Ru comes in, and I loved this beautiful blue silk jacket with like...
It was
the
a lot.
little-
Was this the one that just had the untied pussy bow? Just like...
Yes.
The silken...
Yeah, just it was like a... Well, it was like a scarf, but like a...
But it was the
I guess it could
collar
have
of
been
the
a
shirt.
pussy-
Like it was like...
Was it?
Yeah, I think so, because it was the same color. So I think it was like...
Sure.
She didn't tie the cravat that was part of the shirt kind of thing.
It was just letting it hang down.
Oh.
I mean...
Bring your own wind
choices.
machine. I don't know. Something.
Sure. Oh my gosh. Speaking of wind machines, I just had a little flashback to Horizon Line.
Oh boy.
When he was on a moving plane and there was no wind.
Being harnessed by twine. And
by
there was
twine, by
no
kitchen
wind.
twine. And there was just no, his hair was just like...
Oh my God. We're flying directly into the storm. Oh my God.
Samuel!
Set to go west.
Are you serious? West?
So Ru comes in and no mini challenge, just says, Snatch Game, bitches. And, you know.
And then Ru proceeds to mine everyone's emotions for ratings and makes nearly everyone cry and or cracks the foundation of their confidence, which was not particularly exciting to me. I mean, the question does remain. Do you prefer tea or coffee? Well, either way, take them black.
Loved it.
Do you have a preference, tea or coffee?
Well, either way, I take it black, so it doesn't matter.
So, last...
I guess Ru got her coffee to go.
Are you sure? Are you sure? I literally have no plans. Keep her around. Keep her in the bubble just in case. Come on.
Yes.
We lost Ginny, who supplied so much fun and laughter, and now we've lost Tia, who supplied so much fun and laughter.
And in all honesty, Joe's confessionals were excellent. But yeah, I don't know what was going on, if everyone was just underslept. You know, maybe they're crunching the timeline because of COVID. They're like, oh, we got to keep these episodes moving.
Everyone was crying. Maybe there was...
I was like, are they on an airplane?
Airplane. I was going to say... the altitude, you know, that horizon line. Maybe that's what it was.
I was so scared for a second there.
I don't know. It was just so crazy to me that everyone was just immediately in tears. And then it just kind of made it seem less impactful, less... Like this felt tragedy mirror.
At a certain point in the episode, I was like, okay, I don't need any more of this. Like, I'm so empathetic that it brings me down and I can't get right back up. And so I was like, oh God, I'm really sad about how sad everyone is. And this is a bummer. And then it was like, I was like, I'm still not over it, guys. I'm still over here. Yeah. You took me too far. Yeah. I'm a fragile person. So anyway, yes. Yeah. Ru is talking to Tia, who's going to do Shirley Bassey. And I was so fucking excited because Tia has the range. She's got it. She's got the range.
I love Tina, but she doesn't have the range. I'm sorry, Tina. I love you. I adore you. No, I love you, but you don't have the range.
She doesn't have it. Mm-mm.
She doesn't have the range.
Sheena Easton.
She doesn't have the range.
Paul McCartney.
She doesn't have the range.
Shirley Bassey.
She doesn't have the range. I'm sorry, Shirley. I love her to bits, but she doesn't have the range.
So excited. And then Ru was just like, what's funny about Shirley Bassey? You shouldn't do that.
You should do
Mel B. And, you know, while I think Mel B is a fine choice, it seems like, based on the judging, everyone does Mel B. Like, it's a caricature that lots of people do, or Alan Carr seemed to think so. And so I was like, well, Shirley Bassey is such a more interesting choice. They seemed confused by people's choices, and I was like, no, I'm down with, like, when they were like, Agoura, why did you pick Louie Spence? I was like, oh, why wouldn't you pick Louie Spence, honestly?
New Year's Eve 2000 millennium, what happened to me? Bell's palsy, paralysed 1 side of the face. Yeah, it dropped, literally. Not a good look on New Year's Eve at the millennium, no, absolutely not.
But yeah, so Ru convinces Tia that Mel B is a much better choice. And I'm sad, because I really think I would have preferred to see Shirley Bassey.
Of course. I mean,
so good.
No offense to Mel B, but I would always, in any way, shape, or form, pick Shirley Bassey.
Yeah, if it's like a, you know, this or that, it's Shirley Bassey. I'm sorry. What can I say? What can I say? When you're paired against Shirley Bassey, she's a dame. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Remember the Oscars like 2 years ago?
Oh, when she sang when
she just came out and was like, oh. You guys thought you were going to come and do something nice? Guess what? I'm 10 times better than you.
Shirley Bassey is better than you.
Yeah. So then Ru goes and talks to Ellie Diamond, which, did we get a nickname?
They did something like diamonds are forever and ever ish.
Diamonds are forever. Always and forever, darling.
Yes.
They're trying it. It's not really working. She's deciding between Vicki Pollard, played by Matt Lucas. I don't think I'm familiar with this character from Little Britain, at least not very much.
I'm not either. But I did look up clips later, and I think that Ellie did a fine characterization.
Right.
What? Do you want to come back up here? Dharma.
Does Dharma have something to say?
Dharma has something to say. Okay. What do you think about it, Dharma? Did you were an avid fan of Little Britain, I know that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. She did a very good characterization. It's a lot of like fast talking. Oh, I didn't do this, like I'm telling a story about how then this person and So it wasn't I thought she actually did a character. Well, we're not even at Snatch Game yet, so I shouldn't really be But yes, she's deciding between this and Sharon Osbourne.
Ellie, like, you're not terribly funny. Like, you don't have, like, zingery punchline.
Ellie, we all know you're not, you know, funny. That was so
There was a lot of
shady.
shade between the queens this episode. It
There
was like
was.
some was meaner than others. I was like, oh shit,
Oh.
bitch. And then Ellie has a breakdown to Ru about Ru's like, oh, so do you have family? And Ellie's like, oh my god, I'm sorry. And
Well, I
that's
think-
really harsh of me. But like,
I think it's a couple things. Obviously, people haven't been able to see much of their families during the whole pandemic. So there's
Yes.
that. I mean, depending on your
Sure.
situation. And then now you've also quarantined, and now you're in this crazy bubble where you can't talk to anyone. So, like, I think people are fragile. But I also think that
Yes.
maybe Ru could be mindful of that. And it's Snatch Game. Maybe
Sure.
we have some fun.
sure, keep it gay.
Keep it gay. Yes. Yes, please.
Like over the top.
Yes.
Like gay.
Yes.
Ellie's talking about her twin brother and how he always really kind of stood up for her and protected Ellie. And we find out more later about her home
Yes.
life. But yes, it was obviously triggering for her to, or whatever. She was ready to cry.
Yeah.
She was like,
Yeah.
I needed this release, I guess. Maybe it was nice.
I
I don't
guess.
know. And Agoura also has a very emotional moment. She is going to do Louie Spence. I mean, this whole conversation about full balls was fun.
Oh my god.
And I just go for it full balls every time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was just confused. I've never heard the term full balls.
It's going to go full balls.
Full balls. This was also frustrating me though, where Ru especially seems to have entirely discounted. I don't know why they didn't think that she was absolutely hilarious, and why they didn't think she went full balls, in all honesty, in the improv challenge where she was
Oh my
literally...
God. I was yelling at the TV. Well, do you think you're going to break out of your box and be funny? Did we not experience the same episode where she fully immersed herself in a character, made a fool of herself, was hilarious?
Right.
What's happened?
Oh my god, I love Spaggle!
Sorry,
Spaggle titties, oh my god.
This is going to be a real challenge for you to come out of your comfort zone. Do you take yourself too seriously?
Go on, give it to me. Oh my god. I feel like Tinkerbell.
You look like her too.
What are we talking
I was
about?
yelling at the TV. I was just like, did you forget? Maybe you did because it was pre-COVID, and so she just like
Sure.
totally spaced. But I'm like, I feel like you should go back and review the
Right,
first
watch
4
the dailies
episodes, right?
and
Because
remember.
I was like, what are you talking about? Ugh. Anyway, full balls. Full balls. Yeah, so like Ru talks to everyone else. They're all, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm doing this. But then we don't get to see Tace or Sister.
Right.
And
Sure.
moving on. We'll talk about Sister screen time in this episode because it was non-existent and I'm really confused. Like they seem to, anyway. So anyway, and then we find out that Gemma Collins is gonna be the other contestant with Michelle Visage.
Now, do we think that they just couldn't get other contestants because they quarantine? We can't have
Other contestants
two
other
people-
than Michelle, you mean?
Right.
I think apparently Michelle needed to be there to be Ru's personal translator. And I was so frustrated and annoyed
Yeah.
throughout.
Yeah. They should tell Ru who they're going to be. They need a little presidential
You
brief
know what I think?
for Ru.
I think they should just have Graham host Snatch Game when it's UK.
Also, Graham and then Miriam would have been amazing.
I'm nervous of asking you this. But
No,
what?
please don't be.
Okay.
Because I will answer.
I know, that's what makes me nervous.
Maybe. But yes.
Well, she didn't end up doing Shirley Bassey, but like Shirley Bassey's also been on Graham Norton. A huge percentage of Snatch Game was Ru being like, "What's that?"
I don't know what that means. Toss off.
Wank.
Oh, yeah.
And then Michelle
Right.
or Gemma sometimes sort of explaining it and then spending time on that. And then the queens
Right.
in their head are going, oh, don't pick something too British because otherwise then
Right.
Ru's
Ru's
not
not
going
going
to
to
get
get
it.
the joke about
So,
a bell end.
Oh, I
apparently.
have to, this whole Snatch Game, apart from a few standouts, was so weird and boring and strange and
Yeah.
didn't like it.
But first, quick commercial break, and we will be right back with Snatch Game UK. Snatch Game UK.
So, the Snatch Game with the single worst lighting I've seen on this show since I was honestly shocked that Ru allowed herself to be photographed in this lighting.
I was so confused. The budget for this set was $5. They got to go to Party City and pick some shitty metallic curtain, and that was the set? I was like, what is happening? It was bad.
But then this washed out spotlight on it was harsh.
Harsh.
You're gonna go to prison with bad lighting.
With bad lighting.
Yeah, so in the hot seat, Tia Coffey as Mel B, who I thought was, not great, but had some jokes and said some stuff, which
Sure.
I can't say for everyone. So there's that.
Well, they might not have shown us everyone's.
Well, that's not my fault. She talks a bunch about Eddie Murphy because she has he's her baby daddy or words like that.
It turns out I don't really know much about Mel B outside of Spice Girls.
I think now she's mostly famous for Britain's Got Talent. She's a judge on that.
I felt like the Eddie Murphy jokes got a little too repetitive.
Well, yeah, she said them over and over. So yes, they
Right. Right, and they didn't elevate.
But it didn't
wasn't
cross
like,
over.
ooh.
Like if I guess the joke that Tia was trying to make was all she has to talk about is that she has Eddie Murphy's baby. That's the only thing that she's got going on. But it didn't escalate to a point of ridiculousness. She need to be more specifically everyone go stream Haunted Mansion so I can cash those fucking alimony checks. Something. He's got 17 kids with 8 different ladies. I need that money. Something,
Sure.
But it wasn't that. It was just, then I fucked Eddie Murphy. You know what I mean? So it could have been more specifically what's the narrative? Why are you obsessed with talking about this? That kind of thing.
Next was Sister.
Right.
As
Psychic Sally Morgan.
Psychic Sally. Yeah. I was like, oh God, another psychic? Can we put this to rest? I'm sorry. I just don't.
Unless they're
I don't
doing
think
Miss
we've
Cleo.
Even then, though. The joke is so repetitive. And I'm like, I don't think this has ever worked, and I don't know if it's going to work, and I think maybe we just say no to the psychics.
Yeah. So I also looked up Psychic Sally. It didn't seem particularly outlandish or, she seemed to be trying to be almost a therapist who was a psychic in a way.
Okay. Interesting.
Of the limited knowledge I have of her. But honestly, did she say anything? Was she there?
She was. She had a few jokes that were psychic jokes, right? Someone said something about all of my dead parents are...
I have been rhinestoning my whole family, even the ones that are dead in the coffins.
I know that very well. Okay.
It was basic and boring.
The wig was flat. I don't recall much. Next up, we have not even talked about how I am really keyed into the universe and the psychic. Maybe I'm psychic.
Maybe.
I should get my own reality show. No, that'd be awful.
For those of you that don't know who I am, you can only describe me as a thespian lesbian. Thank you.
Lawrence decides to do Miriam Margolyes. I asked. Well, I didn't ask for anyone to do. I just want her to be on the show and be fabulously Miriam.
Sure.
And I was so excited when this was announced. And then it was... well, they didn't help her in the edit, but also it wasn't great. Let's say that. Let's say that.
It sounds like they might have helped her in the edit because it sounded like there were multiple lesbian jokes, and we only got one.
Right, I thought that was. I laughed at it. I'm a thespian lesbian. That's
right.
Silly.
But then apparently she made more lesbian jokes, I guess.
Right.
And we just missed them? I don't know.
I think for me the key with this was the thing that's so funny to me about Miriam, specifically on Graham Norton, is that she has such a sweet and quiet demeanor. So Lawrence basically just repeated the exact same Laurence Olivier story, right? Of I creamed my knickers. But in the Graham Norton one, it's very like, well, when I was young, I used to go to stage doors and collect autographs. And like you see the just like, oh, you're such a sweet old lady. And then the turn of...
I used to collect autographs at the stage door, you know, and he came out. And I remember so distinctly that I started to cream in my knickers. I could feel it.
And just like the turn of it all where you go, what? I did not know that was going to come out of your mouth, you know? It's that like sweetness that then is just completely, you know, and then I asked if I could suck him off and what, you know? And I don't think Laurence quite got that, but also, it didn't work and I'm sad.
I was really bummed. I think the biggest problem was that, as Laurence had said previously in the episode, she likes to have everything prepared. Snatch Game is one of those things where you literally cannot do that. Like, you cannot come in and have just...
Yeah, you can't have a script, but you can prepare in other ways, you know, but yes.
Oh, absolutely. I think Bimini's a perfect example of that, where there were things that she knew that she could say and put them anywhere and whatever, but they weren't like, and then I will just repeat the story and here's my performance. It's not an impersonation of like, let me recreate this moment.
Right.
It's an impersonation of, let me embody this character.
Unless you're Alyssa Edwards.
I mean, well, right. And then it's just the wackiness worked.
Trying to embarrass me in front of these reporters? I've fought worse monsters for years in Hollywood.
Yes, I know.
Barbara, please.
The energy.
Also, she didn't really recreate, I mean, like...
It was something. It was something. I'm just realizing Alyssa both played Joan Crawford in the, you know, Baby Jane parody with Alaska.
Oh, right.
And
what happened
to Baby JJ, and played Faye Dunaway as Joan Crawford, as by way of Mommy Dearest, by way of Alyssa Edwards.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, yes.
Don't fuck with me, fellas!
Interesting. She's really got that Joan Crawford down.
Well, and then the mask. You know.
Yes, that's true.
It's very that.
That's true. So anyway, Miriam, so bummed. You know, Miriam's not Scottish, is she?
She's Australian and British, I think, because she's on Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries as her like kooky aunt.
Love that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just thought that Laurence probably would have been better off picking someone Scottish.
Well, that was my problem with both Tia and Laurence. They didn't really change their voices particularly.
Right.
And so it was harder to kind of get into the characterization of it.
Yes. They both, and Laurence in particular, has such a specific vibe and voice, etc.
Right.
Like, it almost would have been funny. I guess it's been done to death, but I was going to say it would have been funny if he did Sean Connery or something. You know, obviously there's all of the Alex Trebek, you know, like that stuff's been done.
Right.
But that could have been funny, I think.
I mean, I wouldn't have been mad at it.
Well, the game is afoot. I'll take anal bum cover for $7,000.
What's the angle? That would be the tough part, because he's had so many iterations and so many, you know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been mad at the swing of it.
I was going to say do Robin Williams and do Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh my God. Oh my God, but like, yes, maybe yes.
I didn't get Miriam out of this. And then it was just like, well, you don't really seem like her, but you're saying the same stories, but not quite as well.
Yeah.
And it's not original stuff. It's just, let me tell you the same joke that you've maybe seen on YouTube.
It didn't work. Next is Ellie as Vicki Pollard via Matt Lucas via Little Britain, because they can't say...
why didn't they just say Matt Lucas? Or what was the... Like,
I think her card did.
It's Matt Lucas. Or should I say Vicki Pollard. Now, I see you all over the TV.
Bake Off.
Bake Off. Yeah, I am. And I love cakes as well.
Then they kept specifying it just because otherwise Rue wouldn't know what she was doing, or...
Or legally?
She claimed that she did, but... I was like, do you really, Ru?
That mannequin there, I know exactly who that is.
Who's that?
That girl from Little Britain.
Vicki Pollard, played by Matt Lucas.
That's right.
She's that girl from Little Britain. I mean, I can't claim that I knew either, but like, I know that. That's that thing I've seen from, It should have been Graham. Like, Ru is not qualified to host a pop culture show about UK specific things.
Yeah.
So you
I agree.
Sit this one out. You can be a contestant.
Yep.
You and Michelle be the contestants. Sure.
Love that. Or just fucking watch. It's fine.
Yeah.
You can just watch and enjoy.
You better work, bitch.
And then there would have been better banter and we wouldn't have wasted 20 minutes on Ru figuring out what a fucking bell end is.
The bell ends.
The bell ends.
The bell ends.
Bell ends.
The end of it that looks like a bell. You know what I mean?
Yes. Now that I'm familiar with.
What's that? Explain it to me, Michelle from New Jersey. Explain it to me.
Yeah, well, right.
Spotted dick.
Spotted dick.
Yeah.
Now, being American, I have no idea what that is.
It's like a sticky toffee pudding, only with raisins.
Oh my God. But how do you not, anyway?
Me and Gemma Collins actually go way back, and we used to go clubbing like a lot of the times. And we used to go to the toilets, and we see all these men and clothes and thinking, hey, why are we in these toilets?
But I thought that she stayed in character, had things
Sure.
to say. I didn't think it was funny. And there was times when I think the character is abrasive and she was being abrasive to Ru and Ru didn't seem to get it. And then it was awkward.
No. Yes. Very that.
Not a match.
Well, it doesn't even matter. It's just sharp anyways.
Sorry. No, don't remind me.
But anyway, next up, Tace as Jane Turner from Kath and Kim. Oh, what a breath of fresh air.
This was great.
I was obsessed with this. The makeup was so good. And the wig and the tracksuit. This was such a great choice for Tace. I'm loving Tace. Can't say enough. I mean, the accent came and went, but for the most part, she was really funny. Like they said too, she got better and better. She grew more confident as it went on. And you know, was and wasn't giving Bimini a run for her money. Like she was like, I'm coming. You're so far ahead, I'll never catch you. But you know, I'm getting there. I'm closing the gap slightly.
A real chooky man.
A real chook. Isn't it a chook a chicken?
Excuse me, Ru, you talking about my chooky Nick? Yeah. Ru, do I look chooky to you?
She was definitely a very clear second place for me. And it was far and above, I think, anyone else's performance. It was like Bimini, Tace, everybody else for me.
I would say yes, I would say Agoura and then everyone else, honestly.
Well, so speaking of Agoura, next is Agoura as Louie Spence. And now this is where it's interesting. For me, Bimini was a masterclass, very much like Pearl Liaison was.
Mansion.
It's already underneath the mansion.
It's underneath the mansion.
I had a rough childhood, okay? I wasn't watching fucking Batman and Robin.
I have no idea who this person is.
No idea who this is. This is hilarious.
Exactly. And I think Agoura was somewhat successful at it. I still thought there were moments that were funny. The legs were funny. There was a clear person that she was doing.
I thought the look was fascinating because I was just like, what is this? Like, what am I looking at almost? Like, what's happened? The tearaway, maybe she could have saved for not the intro, but this tearaway to this glittering thing. They later were like, oh, well, we thought the lisp was really distracting. And I was like, but that's how he talks.
For me, it's all about the winning. My first award was Junior Star Time. And from then on, I've never looked back, darling. There's many awards I've been given which I can't mention.
Yeah, I mean, it's just frustrating when, like, I can say I don't know about this stuff, but then I'm going to discount. I'm going to say I didn't get that, but I'm not going to judge them for my ignorance on the subject.
Right. Then Ru needs to have watched YouTube videos of all of these people.
Yeah.
Because after I watched that 5 seconds even of the video, I was like, oh, Agoura did a great job. Like, this is funny. Like, that's hilarious. Like, yes.
Yes, I'm like obsessed with Louie Spence now. So thank you for that, Agoura. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Agoura should never have been in the bottom, period. That's where the issue comes. You know, like, Bimini's was clear, like, great, you nailed it. We didn't have to know who the fuck Katie Price is.
Yes.
I mean, obviously she's a big reality star.
So next up, Bimini as Katie Price.
Is it cold in here or is it just my nipples?
Bimini did a great job. Loved
yes,
it.
like
Hilarious.
you already said, Bimini was the perfect example of I don't know who this is. I'm cracking up. This is still hilarious.
You know what they say, Woo?
What is that?
The nipples are the eyes of the face. And you've got gorgeous nipples.
Woo, woo. It was great. It was fantastic. Well, that whole thing about, this is like where Lawrence failed, where Bimini succeeded. There's a clip of Katie Price saying,
I was held at gunpoint with Junior Princess in South Africa.
Yeah.
My mum being told she was dying. My German Shepherd got killed on my driveway. My horse got killed outside my house on the dual carriageway. Harvey had a kidnap threat. Then I caught my husband cheating again.
oh, this year has been rough. I was held at gunpoint in South Africa. My horse died. I caught my husband cheating. This happened, this happened, this happened. And so Bimini took that and shifted it.
You might have heard in the press. I've had a hectic year. My implants got held at gunpoint in South Africa.
Oh, my implants were held up at gunpoint.
I walked in the stables and caught my horse cheating on me.
My horse was cheating on me. You know, like she took it and made it her own, and it was hilarious.
Yes.
It was great.
Well, and then also too, like the joke of, so I didn't have time to write anything.
I didn't.
You're like,
it's been a rough year.
There was a punchline to the end of the nonsense story, and it was all great.
That connected to the game they were playing. It was amazing. This was hilarious.
Yes. That is a very big key. It has to connect to the game that you're playing. You have to act as if this character, this person, is the one that's experiencing this game show.
Exactly.
That's key. Rather than just, now I'm going to recite Miriam Margolyes for you. You know, like whatever. Like it doesn't work as well.
Well, Gemma was actually banging on my dressing room door earlier on.
Really?
I let her out eventually, but...
I would say this is one of my favorite Snatch Game performances.
Well, and then in the middle, we get a video message. I really wanted to be like, read the room. Read the room.
Thank
at
you.
least for your American audience. I was like, I'm cool. If I never have to see Donald Trump again and never have to see an impersonation of Donald Trump again, I'm cool. So I was just like, oh, the Vivienne comes up. She's doing Donald Trump. I was like, I didn't even like this last year. Was it last year? 2 years ago. Whenever she did it.
Last year.
Was it last year? Oh
I guess it was a year and a half ago now at this point, but it was fall of 2019. But yeah. Wow.
Wow. So this was very triggering for me, and I was just like,
Yes.
no.
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 Read the room.
But yeah.
So
so-
and I didn't hear, I mean, this is my own issue, but like, I was in, the Vivienne comes on as Donald Trump, and I immediately went, ugh, and then was so upset and distraught. I had no idea what question was asked, and then they, like, I don't, you know, there's something about it. Later, it was something about a dating app. I'm not sure, but I was just so like, nah, did not care for it.
It would have been more fun if then there was Brian Jordan Alvarez to be like, congratulations on getting rid of your stupid fucking dictator. You know, that would have been fun.
Hey guys, just wanted to reach out to America and say we're so proud of you that you got rid of your stupid fucking dictator.
I guess at this point, like, obviously...
They didn't know yet.
They didn't know yet, but if the Vivienne had ripped off his hair and had a fabulous drag queen wig, something
Sure.
that wasn't just, and now I'm impersonating this person. Anyway, we can move on because I would like to.
So, oh boy, speaking of downers, we got, I mean, I would say this was a true tragedy mirror. I mean, it was impactful. I felt bad.
Yeah.
It was emotional. It also, maybe because we'd already seen so much crying earlier on, and because it was just a weird vibe, I was not ready to receive
I wasn't emotionally present. I was not emotionally present for this tragedy mirror. I was like, that's terrible and very sad, but I am full up of the sadness at the moment. Feel your feelings. I respect your journey, etc., etc. At this moment, watching this show, I'm full up. I would like drag queens to be fun and silly, and I'm sorry if that's rude, but that is where I'm at.
Yeah, I cannot receive this right now. That's how I felt. It was that. It was very just like, sorry, I don't have the capacity for empathy and emotional, I can't. But Ellie talks about, I mean, it was really sad. She was talking about how
horrible.
her dad kicked her out and then was like, you know, this whole thing. And then basically her mom.
It was horrible, but also then fabulous that her dad was like, you have to choose, it's me or him. And she was like, fuck y'all. He's my son.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, that's the correct choice.
It's either me or him. And my mom was like, ciao, Bella.
Yeah. Oh my God.
She took my side and was like, you're not going to tell your son how to live.
That is the correct choice. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And I liked that
But
Ellie
still really
talked about, before coming on the show, he like confronted his dad and said, you know, this hurt me and this was horrible and blah, 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 blah. And he apologized. And so I was like, oh, that was nice. You had that kind of cathartic conversation.
I think for me, it's a key about balance.
Yeah.
And I felt like so far this season, it had all been really well balanced, where it was fun, and then there was a moment of like, wow. Like Cherry Valentine's story was in some ways similar, and I thought was, for whatever reason, I was able to really connect with it more and like to take it in. I think the editing of this episode, I was just like, like we said, I don't have the emotional, like there's already been so much going on. I'm not at the place right now for this. And that's a bummer, I think, for her story, too.
The editing was strange this episode for me.
Yeah.
Although I did love, what was it? There was some really stupid sound effect.
A verbal bitch slap to all of us.
I laughed at that, too. I did. I was like, what? The sound cue. Yes.
And Tia and Lawrence is being really hard on himself about not being perfect, essentially. I also was mostly present for this, but was mostly also distracted by his Count Chocula eyebrows.
Oh my God. I was also just like, oh no, so it's going to be the two of them in the bottom. Cool.
It was pretty telegraphed from the beginning of the episode, and I was mad. Most of the episode, I was angry. Don't tell me what's going to happen. That's no fun.
Right. So, quick commercial break, and we'll be back with the runway. Category is prehistoric. We'll talk about it. A lot of bam bam no-nos.
There was a lot of bam bam no-nos. Ru walks down the runway, and Robin Wright is quaking with these upper thighs. Oh my God.
I hated this outfit, though.
Really? I didn't like the top.
I thought it
the
looked
nude
so
illusion
cheap.
was gross, but I thought that the silhouette was very, at least I was like legs, upper thighs, the slit, okay. But the nude illusion looked cheap on the top. I didn't care.
Brian and I thought she looked like a figure skater, but like not at the Olympics, at like nationals.
Regional?
Yeah, I literally said regional, and I will stand by it. This was not a international superstar cover girl owns 5 different franchises of an international show. Look, I'm saying it. It was basic.
But I did like that we saw her body, yaddy, yaddy.
Of course, always. Speaking of body, yaddy, yaddy, we will get to Ru's obsession with Tia's body.
Oh my God.
You've got a fantastic body.
Yeah.
Why don't you use it more?
It's uncomfortable at this point. Stop trying to steal her soul. Like, she's like, if only I could have this young body, then I could start afresh and be brand new. And I'm like, Tia, run. It's very that. It's very that. And I'm like, run, screaming. Maybe it's good that you got kicked off. She wants your life force, girl.
Look at that gorgeous body. You could wear anything, bitch.
Literally, Ru at the judges' table just going, don't underestimate the importance of body language. It's like that. I was like, whoa.
Like, don't drink the potion, girl. Don't sign that contract, even though it's really, the gold lettering is beautiful. Don't do it.
Very that.
But yes, prehistoric. When they said that, I was like, oh, that's silly. But then I thought, oh, everyone's gonna have the same outfit. And it was mostly correct.
It was kimono, she better don't. But
kimono, she better.
Leopard print, no, she better don't.
I said, I was like, oh, there's gonna be a lot of loincloths up in here.
Somebody commented that they should have done a red wig and a silver dress as prehistoric drag. Yes.
I don't think.
But I really did also you could have done like Lady Bunny
Also, well, I was gonna say also maybe you dress up like RuPaul.
I mean, at least it's cheeky and fun and stupid. I don't need another leopard print loincloth moment.
But that would have been fun if, yes, they had done, because they're always saying, oh, making old jokes about Michelle and Ru. That would have been really funny.
Space Alien, 2001, A Space Odyssey, and you just come out as a monolith.
Oh my God, I kind of love it. You're like, oh, I'm one part of Stonehenge, you know.
Yeah, I love that.
Tear away to reveal I'm dressed as a druid. Oh, that would have been funny. But yeah, no, first on the runway, Agoura in our first set of loiny bones. And I mean, this was high-end loiny bones.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they were all bad. It was just very similar. She was lucky she went out first. This 3D printed bone corset with this beautiful, I thought this was gorgeous, this mask that I thought framed her face really beautifully, highlighted her eyes, had like lips, like it was like bone lips.
Yes.
I thought this was gorgeous, and she really looked like someone, and I could not place it. The something about the makeup and the blonde, and I kept going, who is it? I couldn't place it, but I know, really interesting story. But you know, I thought she looked gorgeous.
I really like this. Again, like she said, I think the mask was 3D printed, she said, based off of how she does her makeup. So I disagreed with Gemma, Jessie, Gemma. Oi, Gemma.
Gemma.
I want some nibbles.
Nibbles.
I'm as hard as a doorknob right now, you know what I mean?
I disagreed with Jessie about like, oh, you couldn't see her makeup. It was essentially the bones were her makeup. Like they were the frame of it. I thought it was, but anyway.
I thought it was gorgeous. I mean, Jessie doesn't know this, but that they were like, oh, stop relying on being pretty. Okay, I'll put some fucking bones on my face. You know, I don't know. I'm just like sick of this. But anyway, sick of it.
I didn't love, I'm sick of it. I didn't love the way that the bones looked from the front. Kind of seemed like she was
sternum heavy. Sternum heavy.
Yes, sternum heavy. Very that. But everything else, I was like, yes, bitch, work. I liked it.
I mean, this was very, for me, like Carmen Carrera, you know, just like, I just want to be naked. And
yeah. Yes.
She was. I mean, this like fur coat down to the floor, really thoroughly confused when she said, what am I going to do? I can't dance in this. And I was like, you are naked.
I can't do anything in this outfit.
Essentially naked. I think she could have figured it out. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, I was just like, what?
I did love when she like tossed her coat when she was safe and was just like, well, fuck this fur coat then. It was like, so the next was Taste, and I thought this was at least different, though similar.
Her walk, if we can call it that, because she was crawling down that runway, was what sold it for me. For me, this was a little bit cluttered and like right on the edge of, oh, you're an extra from like Mad Max or Planet of the Apes, and not fashion. It was right on the edge for me, but she was a character. She became this voodoo priestess, crawling around doing all kinds of stuff. So for me, I was like, yes, but I didn't love this look.
No, I get that. But I felt this was one of the better looks of the night.
Sure. There was only one look on this runway. There was one look on this runway.
This was literally just the Bimini Bon-Boulash show. Bimini Bon-Boulash.
So if you want a cameo from Bimini Bon-Boulash from RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 2, swipe up now.
So the next on the runway is Sister, in this penis beehive hairdo. It was very phallic. It was very phallic. This was like something out of like a John Waters movie, kind of, but not quite trashy enough. And she said something weird like,
I am serving a twist on a 90s supermodel, cave woman diva.
I'm a 90s supermodel? Did she say that?
Something like, she said a lot of things and I said, what? To all of them. And then I just felt like she looked like she was straight out of the Flintstones movie.
She was a citizen of Bedrock, behind Wilma and Betty.
Yes, I was just like, okay. She's the Real Housewives of Bedrock. And I'm like, I mean, not mad at it, but was it successful? Only so-so.
Had she had more of an exaggerated silhouette, had the beehive literally been a penis, had something been a little trashier, edgier, it could have leaned more campy towards like a John Waters situation. It was okay for me.
I was saying it would be kind of fun if someone was the baby from Dinosaurs.
Not the mama, not the mama.
Not the mama.
But how do you make it drag, right? Because it would just be one of those weird costumes where like you have a black velvet sheet around you so you look like you're a tiny like those Baby Yoda costumes.
Right.
But what if it was like a fascinator or it was on your shoulder or something?
Sure.
And then you had like
that.
a draggy outfit of some sort.
Yeah, that could work. That could work.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know how to make it happen, but I was like, ooh, not mad at a baby dinosaur, you know.
Not mad at a dinosaur's reference. No, not.
Exactly. Yeah, no.
Oh, I mean if it was me, I feel like I would have made a Tammy and the T-Rex reference.
Oh, I get it. Sounds like the fingers. No?
Nonsense.
But literally, you would have gotten it. So maybe that would have been.
That would have been it.
I'm like, I'm Denise Richards from that famous film, Tammy and the T-Rex. Obviously. I just have a brain in a petri dish, and I'm like in a really 90s outfit, and I'm like, hey.
But that's not prehistoric either. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We're getting off topic. Who's next? So speaking of dinosaurs, next was Tia Coffee as a pterodactyl.
I didn't hate this. I thought this was obviously could have been elevated, but for me it was at least different. She was like, it's a pterodactyl, but make it fashion. You know, was it fashion? No.
It's fashion meets. It's fashion. It's, excuse me, it's fashion. It's fashion? Is it, wait, but is it fashion?
But I did enjoy this sort of wacky silhouette of like, here's my wings or my sleeves and this little hat. I didn't hate this, and at least it was something different. That's what I would say.
Yes to that. Like, she went dinosaur, and I'm not angry at that. I wish that, for me, the shape was wrong. Like, the hemline was either too long or too short. Why do we keep doing this? The ice cream cone and now the pterodactyl. Either have it be slutty pterodactyl and like, yes, ooh, look at you, and those legs. Like, I would be down for that. Or I was saying, what if it went all the way to the floor? She had bigger wings and make it a little bit more like Jurassic Park, you know, what's that?
A Dilophosaurus? Now, if she had just come out to reveal somehow there was a mechanism where the Elizabethan collar she was wearing then turned up and became the Dilophosaurus fan, and then she was like, yeah, I'm here for it.
Love that. Love that. If you had it go all the way down to the floor and then you had bigger wings and then you had like little tiny bird legs coming out of your stomach.
Now that
like,
was like little like.
Maybe holding an egg, right? Like,
holding a little baby Wayne Knight. It wasn't 100% successful, but I liked that it was different. I thought it was kind of cheeky. Yeah. For me, there was other less inspired, while maybe perhaps better made, better tailored, less inspired ideas.
Absolutely. And I think this for me was one of the ones where I was like, they're judging with an All-Stars 6 lens, not with a UK, she performs in pubs and doesn't have $150,000 of savings to sink into trying to try out for the show where she wins nothing.
Very that. Oh my God. Next up, Bimini Bon-Boulash as bacteria, as the first cell, as all of the above. This was so fucking gorgeous and amazing, and Bimini is so smart and clever, and we don't deserve her. The judges don't deserve Bimini.
This was very much like flashbacks to Utica for me, where it was like, I don't understand
What the fuck is
it
this?
looks cool, but what does that even mean? You're an amoeba? You're a bacteria?
Could you please shut up? And that goes for all you. I can't listen to your for one more damn second.
It was like, what the fuck are we doing? First of all, even if you knew nothing, she looks great.
She looks
You could have her
amazing.
walk a runway in a fashion show, and I would be like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but love it, right?
Yes.
But then also, in the context of this, especially once she says, I'm a bacteria, you're like...
You thought about it, you went, I'm going to be an amoeba.
Bacteria.
Yeah, I'm going to be a bacteria. Good for you, love.
There are amoebas on fleas on rats.
There are amoebas on fleas on rats.
So then next is Lorenz Cheney in another, I would say this is a Bam Bam So-So. Not a no-no.
Oh, I thought this
Yeah,
was I did not like this at all. It wasn't a mess, but this looked like a, kind of like a Bianca Del Rio kind of, not that that's a necessarily bad thing, but, just like this asymmetrical.
The winner of RuPaul's Drag Race.
I just mean like, Bianca made a lot of this dress.
The biggest complaint I had about this look was actually just that I would like to see something different from Lorenz. In that we've seen this silhouette now, like last week with the beach thing, it was the same dress, just in neon orange and with a lifesaver on her head instead of a tiger mark.
It was the hem was different. Like this was a gown, that one was to the knee. Like I get it. Yes, it was very Lorenz Cheney. I just wasn't particularly inspired by this or excited by this. She doesn't have any teeth. That was like the big joke. But it was just, like a leopard dress with nice hair. She didn't go fully cave woman. She didn't go super camp with it. Like for me, Sister Sisters was more campy because she had like the huge beehive and
hair
like the pet
and the dog
Like,
and the
there was like more of a concept. This
That's
I was
true.
just like, oh.
This was bad cosplay maybe for Thelma.
Wilma.
Wasn't there?
Wilma. It's like Thelma. Like
Thelma and Louise. What? No.
Susan
Wilma.
Sarandon.
Natalie Portman.
So Dharma, what do you think about Lorenz Cheney's look? Yeah, I know, right?
Get fucked.
Yeah, so this was for me was my least favorite of Lorenz's looks so far. Still not bad. Just I wasn't like excited about it. And then last on the runway, Ellie Diamond I didn't like this. Did you like this? I didn't like this.
No.
This was a Bam Bam No too. She says she's Pebbles.
Yeah.
Punk rock Pebbles, I guess.
I don't know for me if it was just that at this point, this was the fourth Bones Cave look, right? Ahora's was the most like fashion.
It's fashion, guys.
Sister Sisters was the most camp. Lawrence's was the most just like drag lady. And then this was like...
Taste's was sort
sure.
of, now that I'm thinking about it, Taste's was, give me a little bit of Tina Turner in the Thunderdome. Just a little bit.
Sure. Yes. Just a little bit. I get that. So this is the fifth of 7 looks that was Bones or cave, so I was just like, okay, I'm over this. That didn't help. Objectively as a look, I still didn't love it. It was fine.
It was okay. This runway didn't send me.
No, I mean, I think so many queens seemed uninspired.
Like the brief didn't help.
Yeah.
Is mainly what I'm saying.
But again, you could have taken it different directions than they did. Like, obviously Bimini did. But again, like, you could have done a Lady Bunny. You could have done a RuPaul. You could have done
would have been
a
fun.
joke somewhere of, like, Shakespearean. I mean, I guess, like, of course, that's historic. Like, there's history.
Just do Daryl Hannah from Clan of the Cave Bear. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Cool.
It's like a notoriously flopped movie where they were... it was like based on a book and she's a cave woman and they filmed, I want to say they filmed the movie in 3 languages. One was grunts and nonverbal caveman dialogue. One was like broken English dialogue and one was like, and they did it all and then they released, it's like Blade Runner, there's like multiple releases and it was just like this huge flop. Anyway, I want to see the grunt cut. That's what I want to see.
What if you came as a cave painting? Either like not a wall necessarily, but as if one of those cave paintings was brought to life.
Or you were painted with cave paintings or something.
That
could have been
yes.
cool.
There's something that, like, you could have been more creative than just I'm gonna do bones and
I'm gonna
be
do Cave Woman and or Flintstones was sort of where everyone went.
Right.
Ellie's was giving me like, I don't know, 80s or 90s Wayne's World caveman music video drag queen, kind of.
Yes.
It felt shiny. It felt too new or something. Like it felt like
Sure.
I'm wearing this to the club on caveman night and not I'm walking the runway. Some of them. I don't know. But yes,
Sure.
it was the last of the night.
Yeah, I mean, definitely by the end, I was like, I don't want to see any fucking leopard print. It could have been fun if someone did like a chimpanzee or like a primate
Or something like
type drag look.
Some kind of evolutionary look where you're half and half, or you're like becoming more human or something. That could have been a cool and inventive design process, makeup wise. Like if you were that could have been interesting.
Or as a train behind you
Godzilla tail.
No, is like all of the like Darwin evolution stages. So that like as you walk down the runway, like as you go to the side, then it's like, oop, it starts here and then it goes all the way up to drag queen.
I think maybe you're being a little too clever, Andrew.
Maybe. I just was so fucking bored with this runway.
Yes.
So bored.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
Anyway, quick commercial break. And we will be right back. Hopefully Dharma will continue to join us.
Yeah, you can do it, Dharm. Stay with us.
So yes, we get to the judging, and I don't know. I didn't really agree with a lot of it. I was thoroughly confused that Ellie and Sister were safe. I thought they were both bottoms, or bottom of the pack.
So was it just a top 2 and a bottom 3, and the 2 of them were safe?
Yeah.
I honestly would have just said, Bimini, you win.
You win.
Tace, you're safe. The 4 of you are in the bottom. 5 of you are in the bottom. Whatever the fuck it is.
I mean, I am being biased. I understand that Tia did not perform at her best, but I also understand that she tried and did something different and showed off her body. Maybe not to its fullest capabilities as Ru would like, but more so.
I think Ru just wanted her to walk down naked.
I mean, she should have. Maybe she would have been fine. I don't know why they edited it like Sister didn't get a one-on-one with Ru in the edit of the episode.
Right.
Sister was absolutely not present in any of the tragedy mirror. Like, she didn't say a word. I didn't even know she was in the room. I barely remembered her in the Snatch Game. So editing-wise, that's telling me, oh, they're going to just say she's safe.
Push her along.
And let's move on. But like for an audience member, I'm like, well, I didn't get to know anything about Sister this week. So I'm resentful and mad that she is now safe again and my favorite girl has gone home. So it's a bummer.
Yeah.
Bimini wins, obviously. I mean, it was Bimini or no one. And Agoura and Tia and Lorenz are in the bottom. I thought maybe there would be a double save because that would be the only surprising outcome of this lip sync.
But in all honesty, this lip sync was so dull for me that it could have been a double elimination if it didn't happen to love both of them. Part of it was just the song.
Yeah, so it was Touch Me, but not the one from Austin Powers. Oh no, that's Touch Myself.
Oh right. When I think about you,
I touch myself. Oh yeah.
And this wasn't Touch Me from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Touch me. No, it wasn't that either, which also would have been great.
No, this was repetitive. It was low energy, and it was just kind of whatever. And so neither of them really got to do much.
I mean, I felt like they both tried and
were
doing stuff, and it wasn't bad. But no, I wasn't like, yes. At this point, I had shut down because I was like, well, they're sending Tia home, so I'm mad. Like, it was like the writing was not only on the wall,
so obvious.
but, like, telegraphed. It was ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
And so, yes, Lawrence wins. Oh, my God, shocker. And they send Tia home. But till the end, I mean, Tia was, are you sure?
Sachet away.
Are you sure? Are you sure? I've got no plan. Are you sure?
And I almost wanted Ru to be like, you know what, bitch, you stay.
Yeah! That would have been great, but no. I mean,
Stop.
Tia Coffee, I'm not ready for you to go. Not yet. You are safe to slay.
The reality is, obviously, Tia, I don't think had what
Tia
it
was
takes
never
at the
gonna
moment
win.
to win. Loved having her around. So funny, so fabulous. So excited we got to see a bunch of her, and I can't wait. I think she'll be great in a international All-Stars whatever in 3 years. Yeah.
She already has an album out. Love her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss
Love
that
her.
bitch. But we still have Bimini and Taste. And I really like Lawrence. I really, really do. But they're editing it in a way that is making me almost resent her.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh no, I really do like her. But stop making it like so obvious that you want her to be the winner.
It started and I was like, oh my God, obsessed with Lawrence. And then they were like, aren't you obsessed with Lawrence? Be obsessed with Lawrence. And I was like, I was. Now, you don't have to tell me to be. Now I don't want to be. Now I'm suspicious about it. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be obsessed with Lawrence. Wait, what's happening? It was that.
I don't feel like care is being taken. And I feel like I have a natural distrust for the authority that is RuPaul and these judges. Because I'm just like, wait, am I crazy or am I not? The gaslighting is real. Like, I'm like, that's not how I felt about that. Ah! But they're telling me so emphatically that that's how I should feel about that. Ah! It's weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird experience.
It's a lot.
So, yes, cheers to Bimini for her win, her
cheers to Bimini.
Above and beyond deserved and earned win. Yes. Overdue.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, this was her episode. She nailed it. And cheers to Tia Coffee.